Hello, welcome to another episode of Commander Fodder. So this week's starting card is this thing, which is Transcendence. It's from Torment, which is the set we're on at the moment. And this was one of the rares from my virtual card pool of Torment. And so I thought, yeah, let's give this a go. So it's 3 and 3 white enchantment. You don't lose the game for having 0 or less life. When you have 20 or more life, you lose the game. Whenever you lose life, you gain 2 life for each 1 life lost. So clearly we don't want this card. And that's where Edhrec comes in handy. So Edhrec the Great-Hearted is 1 red, white, blue. At the beginning of upkeep, you gain X life and draw X cards, where X is the number of permanents you own that your opponents control. Red, white, blue, target opponent gains control of target permanent you own. So what you want to do is obviously get this into play before you get or when you don't have 20 or more life. So of course it's a bit of a problem in Commander because you start off with 40 life, but if you're able to do that, so maybe have some cards in your deck that you can drain life, drain yourself of life to use as a resource. Unfortunately, we're not in black, so there's a whole load of black cards we could leverage for that, but I'm sure we'll find something. Certainly we could power up an appropriate spell, maybe, that is going to exchange life for mana. Maybe look for stuff like that, see if it suggests stuff like that. But once we're in a position to cast this, if we have Edhrec in play, then we can give our opponent Transcendence, and obviously want to do that when they have 20 or more life, so that they then lose the game. We have at the moment just 3 land in here. Obviously we'll add more land, but the colours of Edhrec are blue, red, white. So I suppose this is not really a group hug deck. Maybe I'll call it something like Beware of Edhrec Bearing Gifts. This is Edhrec the Mean-Hearted, I suppose. So I suspect it's going to feature lots of unwelcome gifts in here. Or we'll suggest that, or we'll see. I suppose we could make it a little bit group huggy, perhaps. We'll see. So maybe I'll just sort my land out first. So what do we want? Command Tower, Reliquary Tower, Mystic Monastery, all the tri-coloured stuff, Evolving Wilds, and Terramorphic Expanse. Don't know if I want to be giving land away. I mean, I suppose what I should really play, I don't want to be playing stuff that increases my life, I know that much. Maybe play looking through here for ideas. What have we got? Just looking for ones where you have an option to pay life or not. Too expensive. Not too expensive. Don't want to play the bounce lands. We'll come back to this in a moment once I've added some other stuff in there, and then once I've done that I'll then add in the appropriate amount of basic lands to bring it up. Let's get this back to stacks. There we go. Okay. So really, I suppose with this thing, I'm going to need mostly permanents that are going to stick around that I can then give to my opponents that are unpleasant, or things that just make it very unpleasant for my opponent generally. So, prison stuff and lockdown and all those lovely things. But let's just sort our mana out while we're here. Should play a Thought Vessel. Maybe as I'm not playing the other stuff, I'll play some Signets. And actually, maybe I should play these. Maybe I want to play artifacts that bizarrely do damage to me to get my life totals down, so I can get that opposition in play. Let's protect my commander. There's the other talisman. Yeah, don't know if I want that, although I could give it to an opponent. You can't play creatures. Oh yeah. That would be good to give to an opponent. Or can't he? Let's just make sure I've got lots of stuff to increase my hand size. Okay. Let's have a look at some enchantments, shall we? can't play lands. Sacrifice a land, draw 2 cards. Going 29. Okay. It's a battlefield, okay. It's also this is really tricky, isn't it? Cast one spell each turn. What I'm trying to do is just find spells that I can give to my opponent as a first sort of pass here before I start to look for stuff that I want. There's a bit of that in there. Alternate wind condition. What's this? If a sorcerer deal damage to you, deals damage, double that damage instead. So we deal damage. Okay. So it looks like it's suggesting a lot of alternate wind conditions here. we got? Oh, harmless offering. Target opponent gains control. Okay. This is not a very pleasant deck. This is really difficult, actually. Yeah, it's basically turning into a chaos deck, I think. Surprise, surprise. Group chaos. Alright, let's have a look at our land and bring it up. I do just want to have a quick look at a Planeswalker. Oh, why not? Let's look at some land again. have some way of resetting all the creatures, I suppose. Right, let's get our land base up here. So we need another. Let's try this. Try that. Okay, what do we got left? Still a lot of cards to add. Right, let's go back in, have a look at our creatures. Just looking to, swap stuff about, really. Have some control over it. Give that to an opponent. Some card draw for me. Well, and everybody actually. Control. If you draw a card while your library has no cards in it, you win the game instead. That's funny. This is truly chaotic. Well, I can safely say this is truly a miserable deck to play against. I wouldn't suggest playing this, but it was good to just build it for funsies. See what it would look like. Okay, let's go back to the enchantment side of things. Don't really have much to say on this really, because I have a bit of an empty thought process as far as this is concerned. It's just like, oh, that card looks interesting, let's put that in. Oh, that's handy. Individual becomes 5. Yeah, I like the sound of that. That's what I'm looking for. Something that reduces my life total long enough so I can get the original card, which this was all started from, into play, and then give it to somebody else. And then give this to somebody else, maybe. At some point. make some copies of things. Oh, what's this? Remove the top card of your library. Maybe not. Chant player can't cast more. Yeah, I've got some curses in here maybe as well. I don't know how these are going to work, Harry, because it's fine when they go out of play, you lose 10 life. I mean, well, I suppose, yeah, I'm thinking about it, of course, providing I can get the other card given to my opponent, I can give them this, and that'll certainly make sure that they get above the threshold for that card. But let's put it in anyway. So 4 cards, okay. Firstly, just going to see if it suggests any other lands based on what I've got in here. Sometimes that can happen. Grab those enchantments. And let's see what else we've got. Veto, or one more card. Let's just see what comes to the top of the pile if we do everything. Oh, I thought I'd got the Arcane Signet in there. Let's see if there's anything else here. What have we got now? Not so much red, but you didn't have something with 3 red, that's the only thing. Let's just do that. Okay, so we'll export this. Unfortunately, yeah, goldfishing this deck is completely nonsensical, but we'll just see what the hands look like. Yeah, that's the problem with like chaos type decks, they're just so chaotic. You really just have to get on and play them. I don't imagine this is going to be very popular. I suppose it has an average sort sum, well, just above average. So let's go in and just see. Okay. Right, well, we've got all of our 3 colours. That's turn 4 Zedru. We do have a switcheroo. So let's just see what we get, really. Oh, lots of interesting stuff to exchange. Oh, that's good. What's this? 4 to cast. I imagine as soon as I get this into play, it would just become a target. That's the thing. So. But let's just get it out of my hand at the moment. Oh yeah, here we go. Here we go. Okay, so yeah, land-wise, no problem. We have a terramorphic expanse. Okay, more land. What's this? Yeah, more stuff you can exchange. We can get Zedru out, obviously. There's our tutor, whenever we want to grab that enchantment. Let's have another thing. So I think I'm just going to check out the mana here to see how things work. Okay. So we've got a Thought Vessel, turn 2. Okay. Good. Yeah, we don't want that sticking around on our side of the board very long. It could get rather unpleasant. So yeah, a lot of these are the timing of the casting is really important. That we don't nerf ourselves for too long before we pass it on. So yeah, we've got to be in a position where really we want a protected Zedru out, I suppose. Don't have any access to red yet, but looks like our mana, apart from that, we don't need it. It looks like our mana's fine, so interesting. Okay, another hand. Oh yeah, we're good. So we've got Myriad, we've got Terramorphic Expanse. We've got Evolving Wild, so we can crack that if we want. Yep. So Lightning Greaves. What's that say? Oh, you can't play it. We saw that earlier. We've got. So yeah, we could crack either of these, and then that would eventually make that castable, so that's okay. And then sort of thing. So, yeah, the deck's a neat idea, but it's not something I would play. It's pretty miserable for everybody, I think. And for me, it would require too much of a cognitive load as well, just to try and make sure I wasn't, giving the wrong thing to the wrong person. But yeah, interesting twist, I suppose, with what might be considered to be a group hug commander is to, obviously give people stuff that they don't want rather than stuff they do want. Although there's a number in here that would be advantageous to certain players having, and definitely it seemed to be picking more chaotic cards than anything. Okay, thanks once again for watching. Bye for now, and I will catch you in a future episode.